Lou, you big dummy. What's going on, everybody? Chris Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live, episode 2 of Fourth and Goal, though. The game's on the line, and the only chance you have of even trying to win this game is you got to tune in here every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with myself and Uncle Lou, who I sent the link to. And why late, though? I had to help my mom with something. I apologize for that. Oh, wait, hold on. There he is. So I had to help my mom with something.
Why late, though?
I apologize for that. I had to help my mom. Or I guess my parents were with
Why
me.
late,
I
though?
apologize.
Why late, though?
Sports expert says, Lou, show some respect to allergies. What's up, Lou?
Respect is showing up on time. That's respect.
Yes, sir. I understand that.
So tell that to whoever said that. Go ahead.
Sports expert says he's not even going to hide his feelings no more.
Your feelings are very important.
Yeah.
You have to protect them at all costs.
Yes, sir. How's your day going so far?
I'm talking to the expert.
Oh. So, how's your day going so far, Lou? And
Great.
how is the college football offseason treating you?
It couldn't be any better.
Awesome. And we come off the Super Bowl. Obviously, myself being a Bucs fan, very excited about that. I thought it was a great game. Honestly surprised it wasn't that close. I mean, Pat Mahomes looked like he didn't know how to play football. He looked like it was his first ever start in a game. He just couldn't get anything going. And we move on past that. I mean, we got free agency coming up and everything like that. Not a whole lot of action. There were trade rumors all throughout the really the season and postseason about guys getting traded that never got traded, guys getting cut that never got cut, guys we thought would stay with some teams that didn't, but now we're in that time where I guess, things are going to happen this offseason. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we got the draft up next, and I've been working on my mock draft. Your thoughts on this upcoming season?
My thoughts on next year's NFL season?
Or the offseason?
I honestly, I don't have that many thoughts on the NFL offseason, really. I don't even have that many thoughts on the actual season.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I know you're mostly a college football YouTuber, really just a college football YouTuber. How about a normal college football offseason is what we're hoping for this year? And I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to happen, but I'm sure chances are likely. I mean, we found a way during the pandemic to get through an actual season. It was weird at times. Not everyone started at the same time. Pac-12 only played 6 or 7 games, but we could probably be seeing some spring games and practices, scrimmages throughout the summer into fall camp. And obviously, as you see here, during the spring. And if we do have spring games, you're a Georgia Bulldog fan. What's something you're looking forward to seeing from the team?
What, in spring practice?
Spring practice, spring games.
Well,
anything?
I mean, you always like to watch the new guys, see what they look like, whether they're going to play this season or not. It's always interesting to take a look at them and see how they look. Dominic Blaylock will be back this year after missing last year. He tore his ACL in the Sugar Bowl the year before and didn't play at all last year. Most people thought he would be the number 2 last year. Of course, he didn't play at all, and then so you had kind of a breakout season by Kyrus Jackson.
Yeah, which was really good for the Bulldogs in the sense he played really well, I think.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise, I think. I don't think anybody thought he was bad. And there are some receivers that we know are bad. Matt Landers, Tyler Simmons. It's not that we thought he was bad. It's just it's hard to have high expectations for almost any Georgia wide receiver anymore.
Yeah.
Not because none of them are ever any good. I mean, Georgia's had some good wide. I mean, Terry Godwin was a good. I would classify him as a possession receiver, but he was
Hardman was pretty good
good.
too.
Mecole Hardman was good. Javon Wims was good. Riley Ridley, was good, but Georgia's just never really been a place where wide receivers have put up huge numbers. So,
right.
And not that Kyrus Jackson put up huge numbers either, but the numbers that he put up were surprising for a Georgia receiver, for any Georgia receiver, really. I mean, it sounds like a joke, but it's true. Georgia has ever only had 1,000-yard season from a receiver ever.
Yeah.
In school history. So 600-700 yards is, that's usually what you're getting out of Georgia's number one wide receiver. You get up to 700 or 800 yards at UGA as a receiver. I mean, that's
shout out to him,
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be huge.
And again, that's not necessarily because Georgia hasn't had any good wide receivers. I just named some good ones that were good enough to get drafted, and some of them played in the NFL. I mean, and then we all know AJ Green, and he wasn't the 1,000-yard receiver. He's clearly probably the best receiver we've had in the last 20 years or so. Maybe you want to go back and look at somebody like a Hines Ward or somebody like that a long time ago. But I think right now Georgia has a better group of wide receivers maybe than they've ever had. There might not be an AJ Green on the team. I mean, I love George Pickens, and I do think George Pickens is a true number one wide receiver. And that is one area where you can point at Georgia and say they've been lacking a little. Terry Godwin was our quote unquote number one wide receiver. He's a slot receiver. I mean, he didn't play slot receiver that much for us, but because he had to be our number one. But I mean, the guy's barely 6 feet tall. He's not. He doesn't have true elite wide receiver speed. And I can go list, on and on and on. Mecole Hardman. I mean, the guy's 5'8". George Pickens, AJ Green. I mean, it's very rare that Georgia even gets a guy like that is a true prototypical number one wide receiver that can be a number one wide receiver, not just at the college level, but at the NFL level too. Now, George Pickens has some other issues that don't involve football, and we'll see how that plays out. But as a group, I think Georgia is more talented at the wide receiver position right now than they've ever been, period.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely agree. And obviously, as we know from really, I guess, ever since Smart got there, what was it, 2016? Obviously, it's mainly been quarterback, but he has just – now, he figured it out with JT Daniels last year, and it looked really, really good. And they finally found a leader at the quarterback position. But the talent has always been there. I think in terms of how he's handled using the talent at wide receivers, and especially you guys have had great running backs with Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, Zamir White, DeAndre Swift, to name a few. The talent has been there. It's been a matter of how is he going to handle it. And I feel like, how he handled the talent last year, maybe he took his hands off the offense and said, you know what, JT, go out there and do your thing. I don't know what happened, but JT Daniels comes back. And, of course, George Pickens, Blaylock, and Jermaine Burton, I think is who you just mentioned as well, Kyrus Jackson. Just to name a few guys, those are key receivers.
I mean, these are receivers that would play almost anywhere in the SEC, and that hasn't always been the case at Georgia for wide receiver. I'm not comparing Georgia's receivers to, Jerry Jeudy, what's his name, and the other what's his name, Devontae Smith and Jalen Watt. I'm not, they're not on that level, but neither is Georgia's offense on that level either. I mean, but when you look at Georgia and the wide receivers they've had over the years, it's hard to find one wide receiver on a lot of Georgia teams who are as good as our third best wide receiver right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just, it's absolutely loaded. And as far as Kirby and keeping his hands off the offense, it's time for whatever percentage of the Georgia fan base is left that still has their head buried in the sand to wake up. Kirby went into this season with his hands off the offense.
Oh, yeah.
Now, then you had the Jamie Newman thing, and we were stuck with Stetson Bennett and DeJuan Mathis. I don't care who your coaches are. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You can have Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze. Who's the other offensive geniuses in college? You could have an offensive staff of Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze,
Mike
Lincoln
Leach.
Riley, Mike Leach, and Chip Kelly. Okay, there's nothing they can do with DeJuan Mathis and Stetson Bennett. There's just not.
Right.
So that wasn't Kirby's fault this year in terms of those two guys. Now, we can get into the whole debate about when JT Daniels could have actually played versus when he did, but that's besides the point. But it's time to understand that Jake Fromm is what was holding Georgia's offense back, period.
Yes.
Now Kirby's the head coach. A lot of that falls on him, but it's not like if we were running the exact same offense that we ran in 2020, JT Daniels and all those same players, but Jake Fromm was the quarterback, we would have lost to Cincinnati and we would have lost to Mississippi State. Period. Does anyone doubt that? We barely beat those two teams with JT Daniels throwing for 400 yards. We couldn't run the ball in either of those games. Look at Fromm's record when Georgia couldn't run the ball. It's 0 and whatever it is. Look at Georgia's record when Jake Fromm had to throw the ball 30 times or more. I think he won one game where he threw the ball 30 times. He was like 1-5 or whatever it was. So, and again, that a lot of that falls on Kirby with the Jake versus or the Fromm versus Eason versus Fields thing. And then even if you want to carry it forward to 2020, why did JT Daniels play against Mississippi State but not play against Kentucky or Florida or Alabama?
Right. The games that matter.
Whatever game you want to look at. I don't know, and we'll never know.
Right.
Unfortunately for Kirby, the story of the boy who cried wolf, don't you?
I've heard about it. Yeah.
As a joke, the kid keeps yelling, the wolves are here, and everybody comes running, and there's no wolf. And the boy laughs, ha, 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 tricked you again. Well, then the wolves really come. And the boy's yelling.
Yeah.
And nobody
believes him.
Nobody comes because no one believes him anymore.
Right.
Maybe JT Daniels was not healthy enough to play until the Mississippi State game. That could be true. But Kirby used up all his chances. He used up any benefit of the doubt he had when it came to the quarterback situation. So I'm not surprised no one believes him or that people question, the decisions that were made around JT Daniels last year. Kirby, you make your bed, you sleep in it. So he's got to deal with that. But we don't have any of those issues this year, barring some sort of weird injury to JT Daniels. He's the quarterback this year, period.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what Brock Vandagriff looks like in the spring game. Although I guarantee you, here's what you have to keep something in mind, Ballard.
Yeah.
Where's JT Daniels from?
He went to USC, right?
Yes,
and he
did.
Transferred. Yes. Pac-12.
Where's Brock Vandagriff from?
Coming out of high school, right?
Yeah.
He'll be a freshman.
What state?
See, he was from Georgia, right?
He's from Georgia, sir.
In-state, yep.
So write this down.
Okay.
There's going to be Georgia fans lined up from here to the nearest Walmart after this spring game demanding that Brock Vandagriff play.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Are you saying that basically because he's from Georgia?
That's it. Or that's all that matters. He's from Georgia. He hunts, he fishes, he wears camouflage.
Right.
You see what I mean? These people will suck their own foot to try to convince you that that means something.
Yeah. I mean, look at Jake Fromm. He was from Warner Robins, and Justin
Ballard,
Fields.
tell me who the best Georgia quarterbacks have been in the last 15 years. Name me the three. Name me the three best Georgia quarterbacks in the last 15 years.
That started, or just like in general?
Leave Justin Fields out, but name me
All right.
the three quarterbacks, three best quarterbacks Georgia has had in the last 15 years, including last season. Name them.
I'll name JT,
Yep, that's one.
Aaron Murray,
That's two.
Matt Stafford.
That's three.
Yes, sir.
Where's Aaron Murray from? Florida.
I honestly don't.
Where's
Okay.
Matt Stafford from?
Georgia.
Texas.
Texas. Okay.
Where's JT Daniels from? California.
Georgia. California. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Here's a list of quarterbacks from Georgia. Bryce Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
Cox. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
You know, this idea that, this guy, he's a Georgia kid. Oh, he grew, look at him. He's got a baby picture with a Georgia hat on.
Bulldogs are in his blood.
I've got a picture with a Georgia hat on.
Right.
Can I play quarterback for Georgia? No. But just watch, Ballard, during spring. Every single article that's written that's got the name Brock Vandagriff in it, you're going to see people saying, "Oh yeah, he's the real. He's better than JT. Look at him." Look,
is Georgia? Is that the only fan base that sits there and looks at quarterbacks and says, "You know what? He's from our state. Put him in." Would you say,
no. You know who the only fan base is that's worse than Georgia when it comes to that?
Who?
The Miami Hurricanes.
Oh crap.
They think if you just sign every single high schooler from Dade County, you'll go 100-0 every year. They don't even want Florida kids. They don't even want Florida kids. They want South Florida kids, and specifically Miami. They want Dade County. We could just sign.
They want the guys from the
25. Yeah, what we do just sign the best 25 kids from Dade County, about 100-0. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, Reek.
Yeah.
But that's facts right there. But yeah, you just wait to Brock Vandagriff. Now, what's going to be interesting is when JT Daniels leaves after this year, and we're sitting there with Brock Vandagriff and Gunnar Stockton, because they're both from Georgia.
Yeah. I swear.
They're not going to know what to do. They're going to be more confused than a 6-month-old in a titty bar. They're not going to know what to suck on.
Yeah, I got you. Lenny the Gump Summers says, "I wouldn't be shocked if fans during the spring are saying Paul Tyson is better because he's the Bears' grandson." Yeah, I mean,
Ballard, you're guilty of that. So
yeah. Now, hold on. I didn't say he was better. I was saying if Saban saw something in him, which I completely regret saying that because, I mean, this is Bryce Young we're talking about, which, I was kind of going to get into that. I mean, look at all the other schools that are signing. Like Mac Jones, he was from Jacksonville, Florida when they recruited him. Of course, Tua, the Pineapple, Hawaiian. Jalen Hurts was from Channelview, Texas. Remember the last time Bama actually got a guy from the state of Alabama, at least at the quarterback position? I mean, obviously Paul Tyson, but where was AJ McCarron from? I don't know, but I mean, I get your point about the whole, like, what Georgia has done at the quarterback position because they're from Georgia or whatever. And I mean, and obviously as a Georgia fan, you don't care where they're from. You're more concerned about the talent and can they be the guy for the team, no matter where they come from.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mobile.
Thank
AJ
you.
McCarron.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right. The next topic I do want to look at, and I tried to word this next question. I didn't say beat, but who do you think in the ACC next year could challenge Clemson? Like, give them a run for their money.
Clemson?
Yeah.
To me, the only team that's even close right now is North Carolina.
They are recruiting very well.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah. And you got to think, I mean, they didn't play them last year, but a couple years ago, it came down to a 2-point conversion, and friggin' the defense showed up and stopped North Carolina right there at the goal line. Clemson gets the ball back and pretty much runs the clock out. I mean, yeah, North Carolina's good, man. They had a pretty good season last year too, I think. And they're recruiting. Mac Brown's a really good coach. I almost wanted to say he's a young coach, but look at Mac Brown. Um, you know, I would say North Carolina is definitely at the top of that list. I'd say Notre Dame, but of course they only wanted to play in a conference for one season only, which doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot of teams that can really challenge Clemson, I don't think. But I would agree with North Carolina.
Yeah, you seem like a pretty agreeable person.
Yes, sir. I mean, Florida State's in the dumps. Louisville. We were talking about the worst of the worst playoffs this week. Syracuse. You're welcome for me putting them in there, by the way. But I mean, yeah, Clemson's going to be a great team. That yes, they lose Trevor Lawrence, and sure, maybe DJ might not be as good as Trevor Lawrence, but he definitely proved when he had to step in because I guess Trevor had positive COVID test or what's that tracing or whatever the heck he had,
Whatever
and
it was.
yeah, I mean DJ stepped in and it went to double overtime against Notre Dame. Clemson had a fair shot to win that with DJ. He performed very well. And yeah, I mean, when he needed to step up, he did. And he showed off his talent and what he can do. And, it was almost, I don't want to say a passing of the torch to him when he had to start, but it definitely was a sign to Clemson fans like, hey, when Trevor's gone, we're still good. He might not be what Trevor Lawrence was, but it'll definitely be something that can keep the offense, clicking and just being elite to the level that Clemson has been used to the past few years.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, I really don't. Now, outside the ACC, week 1, Clemson has the toughest test. This is going to probably be I know it's going to be the biggest game of week 1. And I mean, if that's basically their toughest challenge is Georgia. I really don't see really anybody that could challenge them much in the ACC. But looking at their schedule, that week 1 game against Georgia is very significant. I mean, they could still lose that, win the ACC, and get in the playoffs no problem, like they, would. But who knows what it's going to look like with other teams in the ACC? We don't know what's going to happen this offseason. Who's going to get better? Who's going to get worse? You never know. But at the same time, Clemson is still the cream of the crop of the ACC right now.
We don't know what we don't know.
Right. Exactly. And all the speculation is a guess.
Right. Yeah, and that's always scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's I have this here's Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs football fans next off season. Here you go. Hold on. Yeah, share
This video real quick? Or?
No, it's just a picture. Just put that up though. This is Georgia Bulldogs fans next off season. Can you take that off the screen, whatever that is? There you go.
Rocker Gunner. Oh, I forgot about Gunner Stockton. But yeah. Yeah. Because they're just going to throw JT under the bus.
Well, he'll be gone.
Oh, next off season. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were talking about next off season. I thought you were talking about next season in general, but yeah, I could see that. And I mean, if one starts, the other, I guess, gets the second, the backup job. And
I mean, what should happen is JT Daniels should play this year, and Brock Vanderbilt should be the legitimate backup and get playing time against
oh
about
yeah,
8 or 9 teams that we play.
right. I mean, you
That's
guys have
what
been
should
hyping
happen.
up. Yeah,
Will that happen? How the hell do I know? You know,
right.
but that's what should happen. He should be put in the game in the second half and allowed to throw the ball and run the real offense and the whole deal. That's what should happen. Then next
Hey,
year,
we
then in 2022, he should be the starter. And
yeah,
Gunnar Stockton should play in the second half of 8 or 9 games and actually get to throw the ball and run the offense. And then the following year, Brock will start again.
yes,
Gunnar will be the backup again. And then Gunnar starts after that. That's what should happen.
yeah. Basically, until Brock Vandergrift is gone, Gunnar Stockton's basically the backup outside of this year with
And if
JT.
Brock plays well, and is a true backup this year, and then plays in 22 and 23, he can go on to the NFL after his junior year, and Gunnar can have him his 2 years. That's what should happen.
Yeah, we got a special guest in the back room here. Good morning, King of the Jews.
Well, Shabbat Shalom and all that. And what the hell is this show all about?
4th and goal, though.
Sounds like my entire life is 4th and goal. I didn't even. This is new?
Yeah, this is episode 2. We did the first one last week.
Oh. Well, that's what happens when I miss meetings, I guess.
Yeah. Slim Shady Kane says,
I was going to tell you about this new show, but instead I told my new Jew friend Edward.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but I might not. I'm not too terribly jealous in that because I was the original. I am still the king of the Jews, and everyone should have more than one Jewish friend because, after all, we run everything anyway. So
it's true.
Oh my God.
We're just here to help you out.
Plus, Edward's not coming to the Slav Olympics in that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm coming.
Slim Shady Kane says Ballard, Miami is the second most talented team in the ACC. I would agree with that. I mean, they got a lot of great talent, but don't sit there and act like y'all are miles ahead of everybody outside of Clemson. I mean, there are a couple teams that could sneak up behind you.
Isn't being the second most talented team in the ACC like being the best hockey player in Ecuador?
Normally, yes, but I don't know about this year. I think North Carolina's going to be really good.
Yes, Hyundai driver. Thank you, Lou.
For the Slav Olympics, I mean.
Well, yes. Well, there are reasons, but right. I explained that.
Oh, I know. I might be hashtag Honda driver for the Slav.
Yeah, you could bring the SU. I wouldn't bring your Mustang or mine to downtown Atlanta. It
depends. We gotta see. We ended up putting Lou Jr. in this traveling soccer league, and he has a game. He has games that weekend. So somebody it might be just me that ends up going to the Slav Olympics. In which case I'll be Mustang driver.
Well, one of us should bring a Mustang, I guess.
In case we have to make a quick getaway.
Yeah. Well, you're in downtown Atlanta, you know.
Have you picked out your uniform?
No, I haven't really thought about it much. I know there's going to be Bluetooth based swag because I have some of that. So I'm just trying to find a good ankle brace. That's all.
Oh, I hear you.
Actually, Slim Shady Canes, Miami is the best team. Actually, the Bucks are the best team in the state of Florida, though.
I thought the Lightning was the best team in the state of Florida. Never mind.
That's fair. I mean, I can see that. If we're talking football, though.
Oh, well, you know, it is hockey season, so I don't mind talking hockey.
Yeah.
I assume, Lou, I lost the contest this morning for getting the picture on the morning show.
Yeah, Mike Reiser was the winner at $30.
Oh, well, I threw my best punch, but
Yeah.
you know.
I understand. You'll get it. Didn't you win one time already or no?
No, I haven't. That was the
Oh, you
first
don't
time
have
I
to
ever.
worry about it now. I'm gonna do the thing like wasn't that you that made that suggestion for the Patreon? I'm gonna do
For
that
the
for the night show.
Hall of Famers, yeah, that was.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for the nighttime show.
Okay, that makes sense to
Yeah,
me.
I'm gonna make a post on the Patreon about it this weekend.
Cool.
I'm
What's
always
up,
looking for things to
SSC?
add for the Patreon people. It's hard to come up with stuff to add because the Patreon page is at the size now where there's nothing I can add that is going to excite everybody anymore. There's too many people on there. So, not very many people probably will care about putting a picture up, but for those that will, that's something I can add to there,
I had a friend on in the watch side of my life. I have a friend who had a Patreon with the same problem. He was having trouble. It was becoming unwieldy for him, and it also was the thing where he couldn't come up with enough gimmicks to keep it interesting. So he dumped the Patreon. He set up a Discord, and he limited it to a certain number of people, and you pay one fee, an annual fee, just one shot for the whole year. And he introduced a bunch of things just for people on Discord, on his Discord server. I know you don't want to do Discord. You said that before, but your situation isn't unique, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like the Patreon, but I have to, and I do this every off season. I rework it every off season anyway to try to keep it fresh. Some people get tired of getting a T-shirt every year or something or whatever, and anyway, the T-shirt part of it is becoming unmanageable too.
You could try Bluetooth branded watches.
I wish maybe they do. I wish Patreon had its own merchandise set up. Because what happens on the Patreon page is I make a post over there that says, "Hey, it's T-shirt time." But then the only way to do it though, they send me they all send me an email with their address and their shirt sizes. I then have to go back and forth from Patreon to Teespring ordering shirts.
Yeah, I can see how that could be a pain in the ass.
And not everybody looks at Patreon all the time. So if I make that post today, there's going to be a lot of people 2 or 3 months from now that are like, "Hey, when do I get my shirt?"
Yeah.
And it's becoming unmanageable because of the size of it now. I got to figure.
And then in my case, they screwed up the order. Remember, I sent you a picture of that first sweatshirt.
Yeah,
they screwed that thing up. I know you had a good laugh over that one.
Yeah,
you had to redo the whole damn thing.
I forgot to give you your proper intro, Celine. I apologize. I'll go ahead and give it to you, buddy.
Florida man. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate it.
Florida man, though.
Every once in a while, I think of suggesting that on the Monday thing where you got people coming in for little short segments, and I always thought maybe I'd do a Florida man segment, but I'm not going to be able to do that consistently until probably the end of May because of some changes I made in my personal life. So that's why I haven't been on the morning shows as much lately, or the evening stuff, because I had to make some drastic changes over here, and they kind of interfere with my YouTube life.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's all positive. It's all good, and I've actually things are good now. But I gotta stick with this until the end of May, and then see where I'm at. But and Ballard just crapped out on us.
I'm still here.
Slim, say something, man. I'm gonna think you died.
afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up?
I did have a question. I think I'm gonna ask Lou since he's a neutral third party. Um, who would you take if you had to have one, Lou? Derek King or Emory Jones?
Oh, Derek King. I'm a Derek King fan.
Oh yeah.
I spent all offseason last year from this time last year till the start of the season saying Derek King's going to put up monster numbers at Miami, blah blah blah. And he didn't have as good of a season overall as I thought he would have. He had some games where he looked as good as I knew he could do, but overall he didn't have as good of a season. But him coming back is a huge deal.
So tell me again, Celine, how Florida's still the best team in the state.
Well, they won the last time we played each other, so I'll go with that. And you'll come back with a whole bunch of counter arguments that you and I have beaten back and forth together a dozen times, and it solves nothing. So what's the point?
Well, no, I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about 2 years ago.
Okay, right now, and I'll be the honest Florida fan, which I know everyone believes doesn't exist. Right now, Emory Jones is more or less an unknown quantity. What we have seen of him, we haven't seen much that gives any Florida fan confidence that we're going to be winning the SEC anytime soon. He's a serviceable quarterback. Let's see what happens when it's his team and not somebody else's. But yeah, head-to-head quarterback, I'd say Derek King is definitely, advantage Miami. Okay. That and $5 gets me a cup of coffee at Starbucks. We'll see what happens when the season starts.
Yeah, Miami is better than Florida in 2021, just like Florida was better than Miami in 2020.
It's probably a true statement.
Emory Jones is a 50% passer.
Yeah.
At best. In an age of college football where elite quarterbacks are completing 75 to 80%, he's a 50%. What was Kyle Trask's completion percentage last year? It had to be 80%.
It was pretty high up there. It was in the upper 70s.
I mean, even a turd like Jack Fromm completes 67%. Emory Jones.
Florida is going to take a step or two back in 2021. I already said that. Right, I made the video right after the Oklahoma debacle. And I said Florida's taken major steps back, and congratulations to Georgia on the 2021 SEC East crown at the very least, and probably the SEC title outright. I've already said that. I said that January 2nd? It's on the record. Go back and look at my channel. I've already said it. So, I'm on record as saying Florida is the number 2 team in the East at best. 9-3 at best. And yeah, I'll go on the record today. February 12th, 2021. Miami is a better team than Florida.
Okay.
For 2021.
Definitely going to be next year.
I'm on the record. You guys could write it down. Any of you want to make a stinger of that? Go ahead and make a stinger of that. I'll stand behind it. I'm not stupid, guys. I mean, I'm not a glitter gator. I'm not a blind asshole. I know what I'm looking at up in Gainesville right now. I'm not looking at anything particularly good. I'm not looking at anything particular. I'm not looking at a 4-8 season or a 4-7 season. I'm looking at probably a 9-3 season. So, being honest, I know what we got and what we don't got. There you go. I'm on the record.
Yeah.
And again, that and $5 get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks, which, by the way, my family is heavily invested in. So we appreciate all you people buying Starbucks coffee.
I'll be interested to see, because Bama gets both Miami and Florida next year. I'll be interested to see. I think Bama beats both of them, but who has the better game? Florida in the swamp or Miami and Atlanta on neutral field? I mean, that's what's going to interest me.
I don't know.
I think Miami only because it's the first game of the year and you're having to play so much on offense.
I think Florida will give Alabama a decent game in the swamp, but Alabama's still going to win the game. But it'll be a good game.
It will.
I think it'll be a good. It won't be a great game, Lou. I said a good game. I mean, it'll be a watchable game. Alabama lost a few pieces this year too. Obviously, they recruited a hell of a lot better than we did. You know, I think it'll be a good game. It'll be a watchable game. It will be an Alabama win game. You know, it won't be a game that I'd probably be over by the end of the third quarter, but it'll be a good game.
Yeah,
I'll stand on that.
I think Alabama wins that by 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
4. Well, we do still have lard-ass Grantham on the sideline, so maybe. You maybe.
Bama banker, but does Miami finish with a better record than Florida? That's the real question.
I don't know what Miami's. I don't know what Miami's schedule is. Honestly, I didn't look, but who knows?
They have. I'll share it with you guys here. It's actually pretty. They actually have it lucky this year on a couple weeks. Now, obviously, opening up with Alabama, then you have App State at home, Michigan State, whoever the heck CCSU is. Who is that? Central Connecticut.
Oh, who?
Yeah, exactly. Another Blue Devils that's not Duke is who that is.
That's very funny, D4. That's very funny indeed, yeah.
Virginia at North Carolina, NC State at Pitt, Georgia Tech at Florida State. Y'all got it.
Oh, it'll be Florida. When they play Florida State, that's the only week in my entire life that I become a Hurricane fan.
Yeah. Virginia Tech and then at Duke. So
I think based on that schedule, Miami's going to have a better record than Florida at the end of the year.
Y'all remember when Duke used to be good at basketball?
Yeah, just a few years ago and more.
Remember when UNC used to be good at basketball?
Remember when Kentucky used to be good at basketball?
Remember when
Alabama sucked at it?
Florida used to be good at basketball a little bit.
Yeah.
Not since that idiot Mark White took over.
Well, I mean, based off that schedule, Ballard, honestly, it's going to be the same story for Miami that it's been every year since they've joined the ACC. It's just a matter of when are they going to put it together. I mean, they're behind Clemson. They're the most talented team in the conference. They should run through it.
They are.
It's just a matter of when they finally put it all together and do it.
Now,
I mean, go ahead.
I was just going to say we can't keep talking football without visiting the Tennessee Vols schedule.
Oh, doesn't Tennessee play Pitt?
Look at that, Jesus!
Doesn't Tennessee open with Pitt?
I got to see
week 2. They play Pitt week 2.
Oh, week 2. Okay.
Tennessee plays Pitt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Giant L.
That might be now. Pitt is going to.
Tennessee's lost half their team, and they have a new coaching staff. They're going to be lucky to finish with a 500 record.
Look at
Every
this.
kicker and punter on their team entered the portal.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the hell's going on.
I mean, look at Tennessee's schedule, man. That's just loss after loss after loss.
And their entire offensive line left, and Pitt has a very good defensive line. Oh, yep, that's an L week 2.
No joke. They might lose
Green.
week 1. They
lose to Bowling Green.
They could upset Bowling Green. Let's not count Tennessee out completely.
That's fair.
Okay, I'm looking at that schedule right now, Ballard. I see 1, 2, maybe 3 wins.
Yeah.
That's it. 3.
Well, hang on now. I know you're going to try and blow a little sunshine, Celine, but I think Florida's going to take a bigger hit than what you think. I think Florida's got a chance to upset Tennessee, but I don't know.
Florida has a chance to upset Tennessee in the
Well,
swamp. You
upset.
think Tennessee?
I'm not hopping on that train. No,
Slim, I will
Tennessee
take. I will take. Slim, I'll take a bet with you right now of Florida, Tennessee, straight up.
I'll tell you what.
I'll take
go
that
ahead.
bet.
Well,
I'll put 100 on it right now. Florida will beat Tennessee head to head.
Hang on. This isn't just me trying to trash talk. Yes, I like to trash talk Florida, but Lou's pointed this out before. 85% of Florida's offensive production is gone. And then you add on top of that Todd Grantham's defense. What can we – 4-8 is not out of the question.
85% loss. I mean, that's hyperbole. If that isn't the definition of hyperbole, nothing is. Slim, $100 right now.
85% might be right.
You're going to say Tennessee's going to roll into the swamp in 2021 and beat Florida. I got $100 says that ain't happening.
Okay.
I mean,
and when it comes closer to the game, we'll both put $100 into Lou's PayPal, and Lou can distribute the money at the end of the game. And Lou, you already know my PayPal address.
Slim, didn't you beat this same drum last offseason though?
that was just me trying to stop it.
Who was it? What show was it you were on where you went through the you remember that? I was watching it. It was the funniest thing. The guy what show was that, Slim?
That was Pete's show.
Pete was okay, Florida at Vandy. And Slim's like, ooh. Well, I'm not gonna say Vandy doesn't have a chance. I mean, and he did that for every game. Like, it was pulling teeth.
How
to say that Florida was going to be like the Helen Keller School of the Blind. He was like, well, Helen Keller School of the Blind's got a good left tackle, and I mean, it didn't matter who Florida was playing. Slim had a list of reasons why it was going to be a tough one for Florida.
Lou,
funniest damn thing I've ever seen.
Lou, all I got to say is, come September 26, 2021, I'm going to have money in my pocket to buy another watch.
Oh, shoot.
That's fine.
What kind are you going to get?
But you cannot, I mean, being honest, I'm not trying to troll. Be honest. Mm-hmm. They have the vast majority of their offensive production, and it'd be a miracle to expect that defense to stop the Helen Keller School of the Blind.
No, well, the defense is not good, but it's not that bad as bad as you're saying it is. And yeah, we lost a huge number of offensive pieces. That's not to say that we haven't put some offensive pieces back on the field. It just isn't going to look the same as it did in 2020. But saying all that, we're still going to beat Tennessee, a team in utter disarray with an entirely new, unproven coaching staff in the swamp. And that's probably, I hope it, you know what? I'm even hoping it's a 3:30 game, but it's probably not going to be. But we're at home against a team a team and a program that is in such free fall right now. No, I am very confident in that game. I may not be confident in a lot of things about the Florida season coming up, but I'm confident in the Florida-Tennessee game.
Okay, and based off the number of recruits Dan Mullen has lost over the last 2 years, especially once he got him into the program, based off of everything you've lost off of last year's offense, and assuming that the defense is not going to be any better, 2020 may have been the dying gas breath of the Florida program under Dan Mullen.
Okay, well, you've now made the leap from one game to the utter destruction of the entire Gator program. So you can make that leap alone. I'm going to stay firmly planted on the ground and see what happens. Would I love to see Florida's defense collapse so badly that they have no choice but to fire the lard-ass piece of dreck that's roaming the sideline? Yeah, sure, I'd love it. But I'm not gonna sit there and actively pray for it every second, because I am a Gator, and I hope they do as well as they can.
Well, and like I said, this isn't just me trying to trash talk, but look at the facts. The 2018 and 2019 recruiting classes are the ones that you expect to really start getting into the starting rotation right now. Most of them transferred out.
And you're saying that the cupboard is bare? We have nobody?
No, I think you had a good recruiting class this year, and you're going to have to rely on a bunch of freshmen. And
okay,
whatever.
Well, it's happened. It's happened before. You know, we'll see what happens when the team takes the field. It may not be. It's certainly not going to be the 2020 Gator team, at least in the first half of the season, anyway, until the wheels came off. Certainly not going to be that team. It's certainly not going to be an offense that puts up 40-plus points practically every single game.
Well,
certainly not going to be that. I am the first person to say that. I was the first person to say that all the way back January 2nd. I'm not disagreeing with you that Florida's program takes a couple of steps back in 2021. It's not going to be pretty, but it's not going to be 4-8 ugly.
Might be.
Are you might be okay? Might be, sure, might be. Might be, I lose all my money in the stock market this afternoon in the next 5 minutes before the market closes. Might be.
I mean, because let's be honest.
Or it might be that I make $100,000. You never know.
Let's be honest. The 2020 Gators were basically the SEC equivalent of a second-tier Oklahoma team over the past few years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to say all offense, no defense, all right, I'll stipulate to that. I mean, the proof is right there on the videos.
Well, not even that. I mean, Oklahoma at least usually has a decent run game and has got more than one wide receiver that they can count on.
We had more than one wide receiver we could count on. Our running game was better in 20 than 19. So, I know where you're going, Slim. I know what you're trying to say. I'm not disagreeing with you as completely as you think I am. And of course, I've already stipulated multiple times in multiple venues that Florida takes steps back in 21, and it's Georgia's. It's certainly Georgia wins the East. I mean, that's a foregone conclusion. I'm not looking forward to the cocktail party. That's for damn sure. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that my outlook on this is not quite as dire as yours is. But then again, you're not a Florida fan. I am. So, I look at my school probably with a bit more optimism than, and you're looking at the Florida program and hoping it's that bad. I'm looking at the Florida program and hoping it isn't that bad. So that, and that's the definition of fan.
I don't necessarily hope that Florida's bad. I mean, I don't have any skin in the game. We don't play Florida this year.
No, I mean, you're in a different conference. I mean, as good as Florida is or as bad as Florida is, it doesn't affect the Miami Hurricanes. What affects the Miami Hurricanes is, say, how good or bad are the Criminals or the Taters.
Yeah, well,
or any of the other of the weak sisters in the ACC.
What is
Hey.
this?
Hashtag Slob Olympics uniform.
Nice.
Wait, Lou, you're not coming in one of those big oversized sumo outfits
Oh crap!
No.
or a toga?
No.
Well, those were my two guesses, so I guess. Well, you've been bragging on your uniform, and I heard that yesterday on the morning show.
That's a onesie, by the way.
What?
I just put it up on the screen for God and everybody else to see.
You're wearing a onesie?
That's all I have to say. I showed what I was wearing. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay. Takes balls to wear a onesie, I guess.
Literally.
Yeah, it does help. Better hope it's not too cold. It's going to be cold in Atlanta.
Y'all have fun.
Now, Ballard, do you actually think that Alabama has a chance to beat Miami week 1?
Of course. Look, they're not going to win the title next year, but they aren't losing to Miami. If they, my God,
Who's your quarterback next year?
for Bama,
Yeah.
Bryce Young,
I know who my quarterback is next year, at least to start the season.
Emory Jones. Good for you.
Yeah, but that other guy's going to get some playing time, I betcha.
Wasn't he taking snaps at wide receiver this season?
Yes.
Anthony Richardson, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a wild guy.
They didn't let him throw the ball at all.
I like that. I like that. A quarterback that played wide receiver means he could throw the ball to himself.
You know what other highly rated quarterback took snaps at wide receiver?
Tate
Martell.
Martell.
Oh man.
Tate Martell.
Yeah.
Actually,
Is it
Derek King played
possible?
freshman year at wide receiver.
Is it possible that Anthony Richardson is
Tate Martell.
store brand Tate Martell?
I guarantee you that's exactly what he is.
Oh,
Alarming
My
is true.
goodness.
Now, where do y'all think Tate's going to land this time on his third shot?
Home Depot.
it's Home Depot.
Oh my God.
That reminds me of the line that Lou had a few years ago talking about that quarterback from UCLA, Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
You said he was gonna be emceeing bar mitzvahs or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't even. I
laugh so hard.
feel so bad for Rosen. Actually, I really don't. He gets drafted one year. First off, they traded with the Buccaneers to get this guy, the Cardinals. Then the next year, the Cardinals draft Kyler Murray, get rid of Rosen. He's on his fourth team within 2 years.
Josh Rosen cried about the SEC and Alabama in particular, that the football players in the SEC and Alabama in particular don't get the real college experience because they're not really students. They're just football players, on and on and on, and they're not getting the real, normal, typical college student experience. Meanwhile, this guy's parents are millionaires, and he had a hot tub installed in his dorm room.
I thank y'all for letting me join you for a few minutes.
Thanks, Slim Shady.
Hey, thanks, Slim.
I'm getting out of here
Good to
too.
talk
My
with you.
hour's up. I fulfilled my obligation.
Yes, sir.
Right, Ballard?
Yes, sir. We
How did
agreed
I
an
do?
hour each week. You did
How
great.
I did good?
Awesome.
You're not mad this time?
No, sir. I think it went
Okay.
well.
Good. All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Have a good morning.
Have a great weekend.
Later.
Yeah.
Have a good morning in that. I always enjoy talking to Slim. He's good people. He's very, very smart. And he challenges me, makes me think, makes me a better well, I like to think I can trash talk a little bit, so a little bit. I'm not on the same level as some of the guys around here, but Slim makes me think. He makes me a better sports guy. So
yeah,
kudos.
I don't
to Slim.
even. Here's the thing. I like Slim Shady. Slim Shady Kane's great guy, and Miami fans are going to get so much crap this offseason. I'm really going to mess with them heading into that week 1 matchup. I don't hate Miami. I don't hate the fans. I got a lot of love and respect. But if there's got to be at least that one guy out there that is looking for what I'm going to give him this offseason, right? And he's going to type and he's going to be like, just you wait. Hurricanes, their year is this year. I mean,
Yeah, and that's pretty
that
much what
one
happened to
guy.
us this season, leading up to the Miami game.
Yeah.
I had one dude.
That's different, you know.
I had one dude. One dude said Miami was going to win. What was the score? He said 52-24.
Yeah.
He was
Wow.
serious too.
That's crazy.
He apologized to me after the game, so it's all good.
I'm serious though. I'm gonna make sure that I take that bet with Slim about the Florida Tennessee game.
Oh, you better. I mean,
I'm gonna take his. I'm gonna take. You know what? I don't disagree with a lot of what he said about the Gators and how many steps back we're taking in 2021. I'm still taking his money. And you know what? If I'm wrong and he wins, Tennessee wins and he takes my money, I'll be online, live stream or whatever, and eat my crow. Because that's what a fan does,
Yeah.
Crow when you win and eat it when you lose. Alabama and Clemson don't have to worry about that quite as much as, say, a Florida fan. But
I mean, I've had my fair share.
Yeah, I've had more than
2 seasons.
Fair share. I had way more than my fair share should have been in 2020.
Yeah.
You three that are on here now, because Maddie just joined us. You three have no idea the frustration level, or maybe you do, of watching one half of a team squander the other half of the team. I mean, literally, we had an offense that could have played with either of your teams. And in one case, we did. And the other side of that ball just wasted all that talent because they couldn't get out of their own damn way.
Yeah. There you go. Or I guess Slim left, but for you Miami fans, chase him down, get him, go. Yeah.
Did he take the ball? He took the ball. So
That's a famous play of that championship. They called it the strip. George Teague took it from the receiver.
Yep. This must have been in the era before the dumb fuck rule about taking a helmet off.
Right.
Put Dabo on the screen. Get Dabo on there.
You want Dabo on there?
Yeah, he's on there. He's on that sideline somewhere.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he's on the team.
I know he was on the team. I just couldn't.
I don't think he played at all in this game, but
I've seen like some of his highlights.
Dabo was did he play for Alabama?
He was a walk-on receiver. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
He eventually got a scholarship and he lettered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't play much, but he caught a few passes over his career, but he wasn't. He never started.
Here we go. Here's some Dabo highlights. What do you wear? Number 88, I guess.
It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, he could take a body slam anyway.
Barker. Jay Barker, man, I swear.
He took some hits.
Full name.
Yeah.
Legal first name, whatever.
William Christopher Sweeney.
Yep.
So where the hell did Dabo come from?
I think I actually know
from Pelham.
His little brother would try to pronounce that boy, but it came out as Dabo, and the name stuck.
So everyone is literally calling him by a nickname his baby brother gave him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It stuck. His whole family started calling him that, and that was that. So now he goes by Dabo.
Dabo.
Yeah.
Maddie, for God's sake, say something.
Wait, can you hear me guys now?
No.
Yeah.
No,
No, can't hear you at all.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Can't hear you.
This? I
Is this on? Am I live?
Hello?
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 Hello? Oh, and I saw this earlier. I think it was like 10 minutes ago. Somebody in the comments section asked me why I have for my icon or avatar as an upside down American flag. If you look up rules about displaying the American flag, you would see that when you display the American flag upside down, it's symbolizing distress. That's my, I guess you could call it my little silent protest about how I believe our country is in distress.
what was I going to say? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes, we can hear you now, for God's sake. So
Loud and clear.
I hope that answers your question, whoever asked that question. That's my opinion. It does not reflect necessarily the opinion of anyone else on this stream. But maybe it does.
Okay, because I just tried using my headphones and my AirPods, and they both weren't working for some reason. So now I'm just using it without either of them.
Well, we hear you fine.
Sick.
So hopefully that answered that question for whoever asked it, if they're still here. And I'm sorry if it offends anyone in here. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You wouldn't believe the amount of blowback I get on it in the Book of Faces.
Yeah, well, I don't even venture over there at all.
I need to get off of right now. About the only reason I'm still on Facebook is because I use that to promote videos that I upload from my YouTube channel. Other than that, I'm trying to wean myself off of Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie, could you be so kind as to take that number off the screen?
Why?
You know
Yeah,
why.
you'll probably trigger more people with that than I will with my upside down flag.
Okay, Jordan, you want me to change it?
No, I was waiting for it.
Come on, you two have been swapping the natty back and forth for a while now, so you know.
Yeah, well,
Clemson has a better shot at the natty next year than Bama does.
What?
maybe. I don't know.
Well, they're going to have an easier time of blowing through the ACC than Alabama will in the SEC.
But who have they played? You know?
Yeah, well,
Yep.
Who they played?
Yeah, what was it Lou said a couple of times during some of the during recent years past? He was so confident in Georgia's ability to run over everybody in the SEC that Georgia's schedule didn't start until December, meaning not until the SEC championship game. I think I can make that argument easily for Clemson pretty much, for the past, I'd say easily 7 to 8 years. I mean, they blow through the ACC, faster than shit through a goose, but
It wasn't so easy in the early parts of our run.
No, but I think you could safely say for the past, I'd say easily 7 years, Clemson really hasn't been pushed.
Well, if we're going back 7 years, Florida State still ran the conference then, but I would say the ACC took its nosedive after the 2016 season. The 2016 season was probably the ACC's best season, maybe in conference history, and then right after that, took a nosedive.
Wait a minute, Lenny the Gum says I should be kicked out for saying falsely. What did I say that was false, son? You're gonna make the charge? Back it up. Back it up, son.
Was it your comments about Clemson having a better shot at the Natty than Bama this season? Is that?
That's called if that's it, that's called an opinion. That's called an informed opinion, but it's an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue it pretty well.
I don't think there's an argument there. The ACC doesn't have the talent below Clemson like the SEC has talent below Alabama, and Alabama's lost a good number of pieces this year. And I think Alabama, to get back to the SEC title game and win it, is going to struggle this year compared to last year's, whereas Clemson will run through the ACC fairly easily, get to the ACC title game again, and win it fairly easily again. So what did I say that was false? Baby. What did I say that was false? Nothing.
I mean, I think the biggest thing with Alabama is just we have so many unknowns right now where we're not bothered by the prospect of people saying we could, we might have a worse record than we did last season, because it's hard to replicate that. But at the same time, I don't think that what we're replacing with is so bad that we're going to nosedive either.
No, Alabama's not going to nosedive. They might take a half step back, and Georgia could. Georgia's stacked this year. I mean, anyone who's truthful. What? What did he say? I didn't hear what he said.
I didn't hear what he said either. There's some news on.
Georgia is stacked this year. They're loaded. I mean,
they'll actually be a contender.
Not only could Georgia be a contender, Ballard, Georgia could walk in there in Atlanta and beat you, and go to the title game as the number 1 seed. I think it's possible. I think Bama is vulnerable to Georgia this year. I don't think Bama is vulnerable to anybody else really. But Bama is vulnerable to Georgia this year, and that's why I'm saying that, Alabama. If Alabama wants to get back to the Final Four again, it's going to be a tougher road this year than it was before versus Clemson, who's basically going to roll through and end up in the Final Four again because, well, quite frankly, they don't play anybody worth note. And that's not a dig against Clemson. That's just the way the cards stack up. But Bama has a roadblock in front of them they haven't had for a little while, and it's Georgia.
Yeah.
So if Bama gets back to the Final Four, it's going to be a tougher road than Clemson's road. And, it may work out that even if Bama loses in the SEC title game, they may still get in the Final Four depending on how all the other conferences play out. You never know. But Bama's road in 2021 is tougher than Clemson's. That's the way I see it. Now, anyone out there can agree with me or disagree with me. That's fine. But that's my opinion. That's the way I see it. In February of 2021, that's what I see.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Bama I'm not saying Bama unloaded. I'm not saying that Bama is now crippled. Obviously not. It's just that your quarterback hasn't played a lot. Whereas and we don't know what he can or can't do. And you also lost a lot of your offensive weaponry. Now, Alabama lately doesn't rebuild, it just reloads.
Right. What I'm worried about is a game on the schedule. And, I mean, it's a big rivalry, the biggest in college football. And I don't care how the season's gone. Auburn always gives it their best. We have to go to Jordan-Hare. You know how packed that place is every time we go?
Well, I mean, may still be under COVID protocols. You never know.
In this case, I kind of hope so. I hope they shut it down in Jordan-Hare, and the fans can't even go, so we don't got to deal with any crowd noise.
Yeah. My mom called me up day before yesterday. They were so happy. They got their first of the 2 COVID shots on on Tuesday.
That's cool.
Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. It was quite unexpected. You know, they got the call and they got in the car and they went and they got them, and they already had their appointment for the booster. So hopefully that shot works the way it's supposed to. And my parents are now, who are old and have pre-existing conditions, so I've been very afraid. I don't want to lose my parents. So they're very happy, and she was so excited. I hadn't heard her that excited in years. So very happy for my parents. I'm not going to be able to get a shot for God knows how long because I'm not old enough yet.
Right.
Even though I'm older than BVD.
I believe if I'm correct, I read something that said they're looking to start rolling out that to the general public in April.
Well, I mean, now that Orange Man has gone away and the sock puppet's in power, they have no reason to constrict and fearmonger anymore. So hopefully they'll start rolling the shit out and get everyone vaccinated, and we can, drop the masks and drop the social distancing and drop the, we'll let 5 people into a football stadium and that sort of garbage and get back to living again. Of course, I live in a state run by adults anyway, so we've been open the whole time pretty much. So, feel sorry for you guys, but our state is run by adults.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, come on, Ballard. You live in Tampa. You're not too far from where I live. You can jump in your car and go out to dinner whenever you want, wherever you want.
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of places around here, and, I mean, it really hasn't gotten worse in Florida, I don't think.
No, it hasn't.
It's gotten better.
Can you guys imagine? You probably don't understand the reference, but I'm trying to picture Ballard roaming around Ybor City on a Saturday night. Are you old enough to go to Ybor City?
I'm 18. I mean,
no, not quite. No. Ybor City, for those of you who don't know, think of Ybor City as like Bourbon Street without the beads.
Okay.
Or Beale Street without the overt hookers.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway. Or downtown Nashville without the country music. You get the idea.
Yeah.
I'm a little old for Ybor myself. I can't keep up. Puta, there you go. Did Unc walk in? What happened here?
It was a soundboard of Gabriel Iglesias, the comedian.
Oh, Fluffy.
Sometimes I mess with soundboards here or there.
I love Fluffy. He's a riot.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny.
I love his, I think, hands down, the gift basket story is like the funniest thing ever.
Oh, that is a classic. I don't know how that doesn't get taken off of YouTube, but that is a classic bit.
When he brought out his friend, G. Riley in the Aloha Fluffy special, his side of the story is a whole nother story, quite literally. But I mean,
yeah, that was a funny story. I don't know how YouTube lets that thing stay up, but that's funny shit.
Well, he's talked about he has a special on Netflix called like "I'm Sorry for What I Said When I Was Hungry" or whatever, and he was talking about the story and he told it to the crowd in Chicago where he filmed it, and he actually said like, I put it up and they flag it because the word racist is in the title. So then I take it down and re-upload it, then it gets views and people share it. So they took it down at first, but then he had to like change the title or something. But yeah, I don't care how many times I've heard it. It's almost like it gets funnier every time because even though you know it's coming, it's like it's a great prank. You know what I mean? I mean,
it was a fantastic prank. It just, the amount of balls you got to have to pull that kind of prank off is, I mean, you got to have balls the size of cantaloupes, but you also have to know that you're that he's your really good friend and he's not going to take it the wrong way. But it's funny shit. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, go on to YouTube, go look up Fluffy or Julio Iglesias, Gabriel Iglesias. Sorry.
This is even better
gift
here.
basket.
He tells the entire gift basket story in this special, and then he talks about how doing that, like he was talking about how his material haunts him, and like, he just said one time he loved chocolate cake, and then people bring him chocolate cake and stuff, and eventually it got to the racist gift baskets, and people would bring him gift baskets, and he talks about a show in Mobile and how bad it got with this redneck, and it's hilarious.
Started bringing me Mexican racist gift baskets.
You're going to play this on your channel, you're going to get killed.
Now, when it first...
All right, yeah, you're right. But go watch it on Netflix. It is, yeah, I won't play it here, but...
Yeah, do not play that on your channel. You will get demonetized so fast. Well, you're not monetized, but you'll get flagged so fast it's not even going to be funny.
Yeah, sorry, YouTube. I apologize. Yeah, I'll.
It's a sad state.
But I mean,
it's a sad state of affairs in this country where you literally have to think about what you say or what you post or what you put up on your channel or on your Facebook page or whatever.
And and it's comedy. You know what I mean? I mean, it's gotten to that point now where, I mean, even with comedy like that, and it's just like.
I put up. I remember last time I got put into Facebook jail, which was a 7-day jail. It was for a comment I made about a minor level actress. She had made some kind of idiotic quote. I can't remember what the quote was. I think it was Deborah Messing. It was Deborah Messing, and she put up some kind of moronic statement. And I posted on there a comment along the lines of, it was the word stupid. It was two words. It was the word stupid and a word that rhymes with what.
Oh.
And 5 minutes later, I got hit with a strike that says this falls under our not following, under our guidelines of bullying. And he said, as a result, we banned you from posting for 7 days.
Wow.
No appeal, no nothing. Just banned me for 7 days for a 2-word comment about an idiot because I bullied her. I bullied her. Oh,
you can't bully Celine. Celine, you're a bully.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Sorry. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought was a friend of mine put up a post just for the hell of it. They put up a post. I don't know whether they reposted it or they came up with it themselves. They said, what was it? They said Joe Biden is a 2-time Medal of Honor winner, and he just won his 4th Nobel Peace Prize. And a couple other things. And then right below it, he says, all of these things are lies. Let's see if the Facebook fact checkers flag this or not. And as far as I know, Facebook hasn't taken the post down yet. So it's actually kind of interesting. that such obvious lies haven't been taken down by the fact checkers.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny anyway. These are the kind of things that, I sit there and I go, I wish I had thought of that. No, D4 is not apologizing to anybody.
I'd like to take this moment to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Okay, Conor McGregor, go back and.
Didn't he have a fight recently?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
He lost.
Smacked
He
around.
lost? You mean finally somebody put him down?
I mean, he's been put down a few times. But
Oh, well, I don't know.
Like 4 or 5.
yeah.
The only time Conor McGregor crosses my radar is when somebody puts up a picture of him showing off one of his watches. I'm a watch guy. What can I say? Every one of those watches is the gaudiest damn thing I've ever seen. Absolutely the ugliest thing you can put on a wrist. That just screams, I'm a tasteless former member of the working class, and I don't know how to spend my money right.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm the only one that sees these things, so never mind.
I don't even know if I've ever seen his watches or really looked at them.
They're hideous.
This is the only watch I use.
Oh, it's one of them dumb watches. Looks like a dumb watch.
If you want to call it that. I mean, it literally allows me to get into my building without having to pull out my phone.
Oh, that's cool though. Yeah. I just, I made a video about smartwatches
Lenny,
a year ago.
We had Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle come back, and we lost two. Yeah, we lost two, but hey, Mac Jones. I mean, this year's team was probably the best team. I don't know if I want to go far and say history, but Saban era, that was it.
Well, wait a minute. I want to ask this question of a couple of Alabama fans that are sitting here. Honest answer. Give me as honest as you can get. Matt Jones, actually a really good quarterback, or is he a really good game manager?
Good quarterback. I don't even want to try with this game manager stuff.
So you think that if he didn't have quite the receiver core that he did, he still would have won the Natty?
All right, you caught me, man. You caught me.
If he didn't have Devonta and Judy and that beast of a running back you have and all those other pieces, he just had, not quite that level, maybe one or two notches down level, and he's still got the same skill level. You think Alabama still wins the Natty?
You caught me in a corner, Celine.
See, I don't think that Jones is a particularly bad quarterback. I think he's
no.
quarterback.
I mean, he was a Heisman finalist, but I mean, you got to think.
So was Trask.
Yeah, that's fair. But you guys had Pitts to back you up, and we had Devontae and other guys like John Mechie or whoever to back us up. To back up Mac Jones.
Okay, who's the better quarterback in the National Felons League, Trask or Jones?
Ooh. Honestly, and this isn't biased. I mean, I really do think that Mac Jones might have a better career. But he won't. I don't know if he'll have like an MVP type of year or career, but I mean, compare him to Trask. I mean,
see, I think Trask is better suited to the NFL than Jones. I think the way he has played over not just the past 2 years, but the way he's practiced, the way he's prepared, the way he's worked himself through his whole college career, and I think Mullen's system it prepares him pretty well for the no fun league.
Yeah.
I think Trask could be a better quarterback than Jones at the next level.
Now
I'm never gonna find out because I'll never see them play again.
I want to wait until I see where they end up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because really, I think that depending on what system both of these quarterbacks end up in, their career trajectories can be vastly, influenced by that. I'm going to hold off because my thing is I don't particularly like the he was only good because he had all those weapons argument. I'm not a huge fan of pulling that card. I think that watching Mac Jones on film, I think just how he navigates the pocket and how he goes through his progressions and stuff like that. I think it's very NFL ready.
Yeah.
I think it rivals Trevor Lawrence and some of the top quarterbacks in this class, and if not better in some cases. I think that regardless of what weapons Mac Jones had, that kind of stuff you can't. His weapons don't help him do that. It's his ability to read a defense, because I mean he knows how to put the right touch on his throws, and he's not a guy that he's not like super athletic, but he can he's mobile within the pocket, and he can climb the pocket, and I think he's a very, very good pocket passer, and I think that's going to translate well.
Weapons made Sarkisian. Man, I don't know. I think Sarkisian has something in him. I don't know.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to do. I think he's going to do well at the next level. It's a pity he's going to spend a couple of years floundering in Jacksonville, but if Urban Meyer can put a team together around him, and Urban can focus and stay a coach for a little while, Jacksonville has a chance, and Trevor has a chance of having a good career.
Lenny, that's not true. That was a huge talking point leading up to last year's draft. Burrow was being criticized for having Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and Terrace Marshall and Thaddeus Moss. That's BS. I heard that argument a bunch last year as knocks against Joe Burrow.
I don't think Joe Burrow has anything to be ashamed of or anything to knock against. The man had the talent. He made the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, how did he do as a rookie in the no fun league?
He was playing well until he had the knee injury. But
where did he end up? Cincinnati,
yeah. He had no offensive line, but he has some decent weapons. He has T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, but Cincinnati's offensive line did him no favors, and he got hurt, and his season ended prematurely. But he was on pace to be in that conversation for offensive rookie of the year. So the future is still bright if he can, if he recovers the way he should.
Somebody blocks for him.
Yeah. Which is why I think Cincinnati is going to take. They either are going to take an offensive lineman in the draft, or they're going to make some moves in free agency. But I think Joe Burrow had a very good season, and I think he was worthy of the number 1 overall draft pick. Justin Herbert was great too, so we could have that argument, but it was a good pick for the Bengals.
How'd Tua do?
Okay.
Okay. He won. I mean, when they started him, he won more games than than Fitzpatrick, but he
Fitzpatrick was on Miami.
Yeah, he was the quarterback last year, and that was the big thing was they would draft Tua, and the plan was because of him being injury prone, they were going to sit Tua and wait until I guess Fitzpatrick's contract was up and then start Tua, because Ryan only had a few years left, like one or two, I think.
Does Fitzpatrick does he even own a home, or does he just have a moving van for a personal vehicle?
I'm gonna say he has like an RV or something that he gets around.
How many teams has he played for? I mean, he must have played for.
He was with the Bucks. He was with the Bucks a few years ago. He's been with the Jets, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me look this
He's
up.
been with a few.
And what college did he go to?
Harvard.
Harvard,
Yeah.
yeah.
Harvard.
Those
Isn't the Ivy League supposed to play about now?
Yeah. Well, the FCS. Well, I don't know if they completely. I'm not sure, but I know. I mean, some FCS teams are playing. I don't know how much.
Ryan Fitzpatrick has now played for 8 different NFL franchises.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's got to be a record. I wonder what the record is for one guy playing for the most teams in the No Fun League.
That's a good question. I couldn't tell you.
I bet if Fitzpatrick hasn't set the record, he's damn close.
Yeah.
God, I'm tired. Why am I tired? It's only 4:40. I'm tired.
I'm not even. I stayed up all night last night. Maddie and D4 know what I'm talking about.
And I got to drive someone to the airport tonight at 3 a.m. Ugh.
That always sucks.
Man, it's in Tampa.
Ah.
And I got to drive an hour north to get to the airport. Fuck. I go over the Skyway at night. That's fun.
Yeah.
I hope the Gandy Bridge is open, or else I'm screwed.
Oh, and I just wanted to, speaking of D4, I just wanted to let you guys know that everybody that's still in here that he will be dropping a top 10 Clemson players video in about 20 minutes. So y'all go check him out. Give him a sub if you haven't already, and leave a like on that video.
I think he's coming out with a Texas video on Sunday as well.
Yeah, it's part of a series he's doing from a lot of the major programs in college football. And he's got other stuff too. So you guys go check his channel out.
Ooh. Hey, Ballard, I'm going to drop off. I got some stuff I got to do before dinner time. So I'm going to get that done because I've been slacking long enough with you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me on.
No problem, man.
Good show you guys got here. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't want to keep it as long as it went last week and have it turn into a full-on 3-hour thing. So I'll probably end it here pretty soon. But thanks for coming on, Celine.
Hey, thanks for having me. I always appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man.
All right, I'll see you around.
All right.
All right, later, Celine.
Hey, later, guys. Thanks.
Later.
All right, well, I'm going to drop off too. I'll let you.
Jordan.
Yeah, let you in the stream, Ballard.
All right.
Very good stream. Thanks for having us on.
Yes, sir.
I will see you guys later.
All right. See you, Jordan. Have a good one.
Go Tigers.
Yeah. Roll Tide.
Yeah, I was just about to dip out as well. Thanks for having me on, Ballard. This was fun.
No problem, Maddie. Have a good one, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll out. Woo.
Yep. Woo! All right. Appreciate Uncle Lou for doing this show with me, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Celine, Maddie, Jordan Bowman, for coming on today. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. We do all kinds of sports over here. March Madness coming up. We got baseball around the corner, and we're wrapping up the NFL here. But as far as football stuff, I got some obviously we'll have some spring games, hopefully, as we talked about earlier with Uncle Lou, and schedule previews. So I really do appreciate everyone for showing up. D4, Sea Dog, Lenny, of course, Celine, Gold and Blue Dude showed up. Matty Sims, Neo, Striker, Dominic. Appreciate everyone. There's the bets. Appreciate everyone for showing up. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more sports content right here to Ballard Sports Media. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media, checking out. Y'all have an awesome weekend. Love all you guys. Have a good one. Roll Tide Roll. We'll see ya.